How to fix Valorant opening on wrong monitor. Welcome back to Tenabalta. During our recent deep dive investigations into complex multi-monitor gaming setups, we discovered a highly frustrating and persistent issue where Valorant forcefully launches on the secondary display instead of your primary screen. This rendering error often plagues high-end gaming laptops connected to external monitors and complex dual-screen desktop environments, completely disrupting the initial boot sequence of the Riot Games client. Tenabalta's dedicated technical team has thoroughly analyzed the Windows display rendering pipeline and compiled the absolute most comprehensive diagnostic guide to permanently resolve this monitor targeting error. Let us dive directly into the definitive, tested solutions our laboratory has meticulously verified for you today. Our first line of defense involves adjusting the internal video parameters directly within the Valorant client itself to establish a correct baseline connection. Launch the game, carefully navigate to the Video Settings tab from the main menu, and explicitly locate the Monitor Selection drop-down menu positioned near the resolution options. Our testing confirmed that manually overriding this parameter from the default state to your specific primary display permanently anchors the application window to the correct hardware. If the internal settings menu remains unresponsive or the screen is unreachable, we highly recommend utilizing the standard Windows window management bypass technique. Press the Alt and Enter keys simultaneously on your keyboard to instantly force the Valorant engine out of exclusive full screen and into windowed mode. You can then manually drag the application over to your preferred primary screen and press the exact same keyboard shortcut again to restore full operational functionality. Tenabalta's core analysis revealed that the Windows operating system frequently misidentifies the hardware priority of connected displays during a cold boot sequence. Right-click anywhere on your desktop, open the Display Settings configuration panel, and highlight the rectangular icon representing your preferred primary gaming screen. Scroll down through the menu options and physically check the box labeled "Make this my main display" to force all direct rendering applications to target this specific panel. Sometimes, executing a physical reset of the display handshake protocol is absolutely necessary to clear the monitor memory cache within the graphics card. Disconnect your secondary monitor from its HDMI or DisplayPort connection entirely while your computer system remains fully powered on. Launch Valorant exclusively on your primary screen to establish the correct rendering path, and then seamlessly reconnect your secondary display cable to lock the hardware configuration in place. We discovered that creatively utilizing the integrated Windows projection menu offers a phenomenal temporary override for incredibly stubborn display routing issues. Press the Windows key and the P key simultaneously to open the projection sidebar, then firmly select the PC screen only option before attempting to launch the Riot client. Once Valorant successfully boots and stabilizes on the primary monitor, you can safely switch the projection menu back to the extend mode without losing the active window. For a significantly deeper technical resolution, our engineers investigated the underlying core configuration files generated by the Unreal Engine framework itself. Press the Windows key and R to open the Run dialog, type local app data, and carefully navigate through the Valorant, saved, and config folders to locate your specific user directory. Open the file named GameUserSettings, utilizing a standard text editor application to prepare your system for manual parameter overrides. Within this specific text configuration file, you must carefully locate the discrete lines dictating the current monitor index and the last confirmed monitor index variables. Change both of these numerical values to exactly 0, which strictly correlates to the primary display index assigned within the core Windows registry. Save the modified text document and completely restart your computer system to ensure these forced engine changes are permanently committed to memory. Our extensive diagnostic suite showed that dedicated graphics processing unit control panels frequently override system-level Windows display preferences entirely. Open your NVIDIA Control Panel application and navigate directly to the Set Up Multiple Displays section located under the Primary Display tab. Ensure your primary high refresh rate gaming monitor is explicitly marked with a star icon, permanently designating it as the absolute primary output device for the graphics card. For our audience utilizing AMD hardware, Tenabalta strongly recommends carefully inspecting the Adrenalin software suite for any conflicting display topologies. Navigate seamlessly to the Display tab and verify that your AMD Affinity settings are completely disabled, as this specific feature can span the application across multiple screens unpredictably. Manually assign your primary monitor as the preferred display target to guarantee that all 3D applications render precisely where you intend them to. A lesser-known but highly effective advanced window management trick involves utilizing the dedicated Windows Shift directional teleport command. Once the Valorant client fully launches on the incorrect secondary screen, click the window to ensure it is active, then press the Windows key, Shift, and the left or right arrow key simultaneously. This complex shortcut instantly teleports the active application environment directly to the adjacent monitor without breaking the fragile full-screen optimization state. Tenabalta has also successfully verified that modifying the direct launch arguments of the application shortcut can safely force the correct operational behavior without deep system tweaks. Right-click your Valorant desktop shortcut icon, open the Properties menu, and navigate directly to the target field containing the core executable path. Append the specific command line argument dash windowed to the very end of the string to force the game engine into a safe boot state upon your next launch attempt. Corrupted or outdated graphics drivers are an incredibly frequent culprit when dealing with advanced monitor identification failures in modern competitive video games. We strongly advise downloading the Display Driver Uninstaller utility to completely eradicate your current graphics software while operating in Windows Safe mode. Afterwards, install the absolute latest certified driver package directly from your hardware manufacturer's official website to thoroughly rebuild the display registry map. The full-screen optimizations feature engineered by Microsoft can occasionally create severe conflicts with Valorant's required exclusive full-screen mode infrastructure. Navigate deep into the core installation directory of the game, find the specific executable file named Valorant Win 64 Shipping, and open its detailed properties menu. Under the Compatibility tab, explicitly check the box designed to disable full-screen optimizations and click Apply to save these critical changes to the operating system. Our rigorous laboratory testing highlighted that mismatched display refresh rates between dual monitors can inadvertently cause the game engine to default to the secondary screen. Open your Advanced Display Settings menu in Windows and carefully ensure both of your connected monitors are operating precisely at their native refresh frequencies. Equalizing these specific hardware parameters prevents the Riot rendering engine from defaulting to the lower specification display during the boot sequence initialization. Hidden or disconnected ghost monitors lingering invisibly within the Windows Device Manager can drastically confuse the application window manager during startup. Open your Device Manager tool, click the View tab at the top, select Show Hidden Devices, and expand the main monitor's hardware category. Uninstall any grayed out or previously disconnected display profiles to completely purify your system's hardware registry map and prevent future routing conflicts. Third-party multi-monitor management software frequently intercepts the delicate launch sequence of competitive titles like Valorant, causing severe positioning errors. If you are actively utilizing background applications like Display Fusion or Little Big Mouse, you must completely terminate their processes through the Windows Task Manager. Our internal laboratory confirmed that these utility programs often inject heavily conflicting instructions regarding absolute window placement and monitor priority. The integrated Windows game mode feature attempts to dynamically allocate system resources based on active windows, but can severely misinterpret complex multi-display setups. Navigate directly to the primary Windows settings menu, select the gaming category, and toggle the game mode switch to the off position completely. This crucial step prevents the operating system from aggressively managing the active rendering state of the Valorant executable across different physical hardware screens. Disabling the Xbox Game Bar System overlay is another incredibly crucial step our technical team highly recommends for eliminating this specific monitor bug. The Game Bar overlay can occasionally anchor itself to the secondary monitor's rendering pipeline, forcefully dragging the active game window along with it during the initial boot process. Turn off the Game Bar toggle completely within your Windows Gaming Settings panel to permanently eliminate this unwanted software interaction. Sometimes the mandatory Riot Vanguard anti-cheat engine hooks into the core display driver incorrectly during its initial system startup sequence. We highly recommend completely uninstalling the Vanguard software from your Windows ad or remove Programs menu and performing a full system restart. Upon launching the Riot client again, it will automatically download a fresh, uncorrupted version of the anti-cheat software that usually correctly maps your display hardware. As a final, definitive system-level fix, clearing the Windows display topology cache directly resolves the deepest and most persistent registry conflicts available. Open the Registry Editor tool and navigate carefully to Local Machine, System, Current Control Set, Control, and finally the Graphics Drivers directory. Delete the Configuration, Connectivity, and Scale Factors folders entirely. Then immediately restart your computer to force Windows to completely rebuild your monitor display profiles from scratch. Don't forget to follow Tenabalta for more.